I can address things in its proper context. Carbohydrates is something that's really, really important to consume. A lot of times we've been shunned away from it, and I don't think that carbs really get a fair break. And I just want to let you know that if you guys are feeling discouraged, nothing is wrong with you. Your body is not broken. You're not falling back, or you're not getting towards your goals because of lack of discipline or willpower. There's a reason why consuming carbs or consuming too much carbs or too little bit of carbs can cause damage to your metabolism. So today we're going to be really talking about carbs, carbohydrates, because carbs sit right in the middle of energy. Okay, it's associated with stress and hormones, especially for women, and digestion as well. Okay, so when we look at what carbs is, carbohydrate, the definition of carbohydrate is carbon, hydrogen, and fat. And again, any questions, please type it in the chat. I'm gonna get to it. Okay, carbohydrates is carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, which is solids, liquids, and gas, literally what the earth is made of, right? That's important because those particular elements are the same elements your body uses to produce energy, right? Carbs are not an opinion, it's simply chemistry. So when you look on these social media apps and they're like, cut out carbs, like that's the first thing I did. When you eat carbs, your body breaks them down into sugar, which is glucose. If you eat fruit, your body breaks that down into fructose. Okay, there's a difference between glucose and fructose, right? Glucose is fuel. It breaks down, your body utilizes it, and many of the times we're eating carbs, but we're not utilizing it as actual fuel. So we might be going to Starbucks and getting a nice little latte, which is 500 calories. Then we may be getting Dunkin' Donuts, or we may be getting a donut or a bagel. We're just consuming carbs, but we're using complex carbs. We're using processed foods. And there's a total difference between eating an apple or a pineapple versus something that was made in a laboratory to make you addicted to it. But anyway, fuel is something that's important to understand and also to note, right? Because fuel gets stored when the time is right, or better yet, when we're actually utilizing our bodies in a way where we're moving enough. And how you know that is that many of you guys have iPhones. If you go into your Apple Health, you can actually see how many steps you make in a day. Our ancestors, we were always moving. We were always getting water. We're always hunting, or we're always walking or fighting or doing something that required us to move and have a lot of steps. But nowadays, we are sedentary in our home, sitting down. We get into our car, we sit down, we drive to work. It's probably some of us commute about 40 minutes on average. So these things basically can become a issue, right? And we're utilizing this storage, and it's not always a good thing. And the first thing that shows is your midsection. And that's visceral fat, because there's two different types of fat. There's visceral fat and there's subcutaneous fat, right? Subcutaneous fat is the thin layer fat that's beneath your skin. Visceral fat is basically underneath your actual stomach, right? It's behind your muscles and it's around your internal organs. And those type of fat is more of the dangerous fat. That's the brown fat. That's the fat that we need to eliminate, right? And it's not a particular workout that's going to get rid of it. It's simply utilizing your fat as stored energy and putting your body into the fat storage mode, right? So think of your body like a company, right? Your food is your inventory, your energy is your cash flow, and your stress is your overhead, right? Like how much it costs to operate your business. When your inventory, right, comes in and business is moving, your inventory gets used. When inventory comes in and the business slows down, then you have a whole warehouse full of stuff because you're not moving it, you're not selling anything. That's fat, right? Fat storage is not punishment. It's inventory management or poor inventory management. And that is something that we need to actually fix. So if you guys have fat, we need to tap into it. This is why we're doing everything in order to tap in with the Supreme Body Reset, right? So when we have the Supreme Body Reset, the first thing that happens when we do the first 24 hours is in 13 hours, our body goes into the state of ketosis, which is your body utilizing your fat as stored energy. Because it's like, oh, I don't know where we're going to get this energy from. So we now need to start tapping into this fat. So we're going to utilize this fat and it goes into your liver and it produces ketones. And this is how your body is burning fat, right? So it's important to note that when we do these fasting protocols, it allows you to then turn your body from fat storage mode into fat burning mode. And that's the kicker. Many of us have bad bacteria. We have parasites. It makes you, so many people, oh my God, I feel headaches. I feel lethargic. I feel this. I feel that. These are things, entities that come from eating beef and chicken and fish and processed foods. And even if you shop and you get organic food, if you go out just one time, you go to a restaurant, we don't know what type of meat they're actually serving. So this is why during the seasons we have to detoxify our bodies. And this is one of the reasons why we also do a colonic, because during the time we actually kill these parasites, it literally goes down your body and into your intestines, and you have dead eggs from parasites that are laying in your intestines. But boom, what happens is when you do a colonic, it washes it out. And it's funny because Tia has told me several times that she sees worms literally inside, but legally she can't tell that person that it's actually worms because she can't diagnose the actual issue or the symptom. And it's crazy because when you look at what we're being infected with, the only time doctors truly address parasites is when you go overseas. So if you're like, hey man, I went to South America, and I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that. And they're like, oh yeah, well, okay, we're going to test you for parasites. That's the only time like America doesn't have parasites in it. It's ridiculous because those are not the protocols, right? Anyway, let's get back to the carbs because, parasites, they love carbs. Cancer eats carbs. Everything that's associated with bad carbs basically can hit you as well. Carbs can create heart disease. It can rise blood sugar levels, right? Your body releases insulin. And also, just to be very clear, insulin is not the villain because we hear insulin a lot of times, and that's also a key word, right? Insulin is not bad. It's the delivery system, right? Insulin says, okay, we got fuel. Where does it go, right? If you've been moving, if you've been training and exercising on a regular basis, thinking, using cognitive skills, reading books and educating yourself, right? Working out, stretching, and recovering as well, then your fuel that you eat will go to work and it won't store itself as fat. If you've been sitting, stressed because of your relationships, not sleeping enough, and just under eating because, life and your job has you stressed because there's not enough people that work in your job and you're doing about 3 different people's work at the same time, or you're working in a school system and you're dealing with overwhelming kids. There's many different things. I'm sorry, I just saw Aretha's face right there. And I know she's stressed out with them kids. But the fuel gets stored when we're stressing when we're under eating, when we're not doing what we're supposed to do. She started laughing. Same thing when it comes to carbs, right? So simple carbs are fast. And there's a difference between complex carbs and simple carbs, right? Simple carbs, they enter your system very quickly. They spike blood sugar very quickly and they leave very quickly. But it doesn't, for fruits, in my opinion, my professional opinion, it does no harm. It's very natural. You can't dive into the ocean and grab on a piece of salmon, right? But you can walk up to a tree and grab an apple, and it's normal. It's literally nature. It has all the, it has a lot of minerals. I'm not going to say it has protein and stuff like that, but it has a lot of the good minerals that your body needs, and it cleanses your body on a cellular level and it hydrates you, right? Versus drinking water, because fruit is actually H320. Okay. The reason why people cannot hydrate themselves with water, which is the reason why you can't go to the hospital and be hydrated. If you are dehydrated, they're going to connect you to an IV, is because water does not have magnesium. It doesn't have all of the different minerals that your body needs, selenium. It doesn't have those things that can go to your actual cells. So this is why it will go through you. Not to say you don't drink water. Duh, drink water. But this is why we put lime or certain things inside of water just so that it can bind and, you know, we can utilize it correctly. But anyway, complex carbs, right? Simple carbs are fast. Complex carbs are slower, right? They digest really slow, right? They release energy gradually and they stick around longer. Nothing wrong with simple carbs, right? That go fast. Fruit can go fast in your body, but complex carbs like a banana, well, no, I wouldn't say a banana, but what I would say is something like oatmeal, right? Oatmeal is a slow burning carb. It's a complex carb, right? Um, Kamut, that's another complex carb. You follow me? So they release energy gradually and they stick around longer, right? And really, I want you to understand that simple carbs is like dumping lighter fluid on fire. Big flame, gone real fast, where complex carbs is like adding a real thick log that burns slow and it heats longer. And if you dump lighter fluid, right, and then walk away, the fire, it doesn't die. It takes time. It crashes, right? So you wake up already behind. Many of you skip breakfast or eat something small. You're stressed before the day even starts. You rely on caffeine, many of you, and you push through meetings. You ignore hunger, right? Midday, your brain is foggy and your patience is gone. Your cravings show up, and that's not you being weak. That's your body saying we're running on fumes. And this is what triggers cortisol. And when your fuel is low, cortisol will step in. Cortisol is not necessarily bad because cortisol has a bad rap. Cortisol is a stress hormone, and you don't want high levels of cortisol, right? So cortisol is an emergency hormone, right? Hold on one second. Let me put Aretha in the breakout room, and I see. Where are you, Coach Elisa? Coach Elisa, go ahead and join. There we go. Do you see it, Coach Elisa? No? Yeah, I know. Why am I trying to?
No, I don't see it.
Oh, wait. Hold on, it's trying to put me in a room. Hold on. Teen. Why is it not? I think because you no, you should be able to join. It's somewhere on your thing that you can go in or you can go out. No, you don't see it?
It's not visible on my screen because I left the room
Yeah.
and I no longer see anything.
No worry. I'm gonna close the room and then I'm gonna open it up again and then I'm gonna put you back in the room. All right.
Okay.
Just give me 2 seconds while we talk about this cortisol, right? Because cortisol gives people a bad rap, right? But cortisol is an emergency hormone, right? It says we need energy right now, right? And what it does is it pulls energy from your muscles, your recovery, and your sleep. This is why, ladies, and I mean Danja and Marion, when we are exercising and we are stressed, right? And we're going through a fasting protocol, we don't want to agitate or elevate high levels of cortisol when we're stressed because we can't put protein back in our bodies. This is why walking at a steady pace may be the move. And I'm not saying that it's like nothing. I'm always going with what works and what doesn't work. I just, always want to make sure that I'm clear when it comes to, what we're actually doing and what we're accomplishing. Um, oh, now I can't add you both. What in the world? Now I can't add Aretha and I can't add what in the world? Okay, let me see if I can add another one. I'm gonna add another room. Coach Elisa. Oh, okay. There you go. Move right here. Room 2. Room 2. There you go. I think you guys can see that. There you go. So cortisol levels is all about muscle recovery, sleep, and also good hormone balance, right? So we have short term, and this is what keeps you functioning. Long term is what keeps you stuck, right? So if you have short term cortisol, it's functioning, it's keeping you alert. But that long term, that constant stress of cortisol, high cortisol levels, that right there is what will raise blood sugar levels. That's what would give people diabetes and high blood pressure. And these are some of the things that we have to work on because high cortisol levels blocks fat loss. So what we have to do is we have to calm down and just go and work inside of our bodies and stay at homeostasis, which is basically focusing and seeing what works for you in particular and what does not work for you. Danja, you look like you got a question, Danja. No? Okay. So now, what we want to do is we want to understand about fasting, right? When we talk about fasting, right? We have intermittent fasting, which a lot of people do, and it sounds good. It sounds clean, right? Eat less often. It lowers insulin levels. It burns fat. And on paper, that makes sense. But here's the real issue for a lot of people that try to do this stuff on their own and they don't seek professional help, right? You're already stressed, many of you. You're already sleeping less than you should. You're already asking your brain to perform all day. Now you remove fuel for long periods of time, and your body doesn't say, nice strategy. It says we're under pressure. So cortisol rises and hunger hormones rise. Energy crashes later. Fasting is not bad at all. It's not just neutral when you do things the wrong way. So what I mean by that is that there's a right way and there's a wrong way. For me, I've learned that my fasting protocol works when I eat in the morning time and I cut off my food when it starts to get dark. But many of us have adopted the later on eating for around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and a lot of you guys are not eating until finish eating until 8 p.m., 9 p.m. That's a lot of food on your digestion, and around 5 o'clock is when your digestive system slows down significantly. During the day, your digestive system is working overtime. This is why we're feeling hungry. So if it's not getting that proper fuel in the morning time, what's going to happen? This is why even with young kids, they've done studies with kids that don't eat breakfast in the morning time. They're all hyperactive and all over the place in the morning time, right? But when we control our actual carbs and we manage what we eat and we're not eating carbs that make us sink to the bottom by 10 p.m. and crash and burn, and listen, we're in control. Now, speaking of control, let's talk about ghrelin, right? Ghrelin is a hunger hormone, right? And when fuel is inconsistent, ghrelin goes up. And that's why restriction always ends the same exact way. This is why I'm not a big fan of surgeries, and I'm talking about when people do the gastric, and I'm not a big fan of the drugs that basically the weight loss drugs, because what it does is it basically restricts, and it restricts you for a very long time, and your ghrelin hormone and leptin hormone can actually go out of whack. And this is not because you're broken, it's because biology always wins. Your body needs natural ghrelin and leptin to actually work. So another thing is what's inside of carbs that we are not utilizing either, like fiber. A lot of us are not eating the actual fibrous fruits that we need in our body, and those fibers are an issue because fiber feeds gut bacteria. For example, apples, green granny apples have a lot of fiber in it. This feeds good gut bacteria, healthy gut. It reduces inflammation. And when I mean inflammation, I mean water retention. That's what inflammation is. So if we want to reduce inflammation, we have to take on a lot of fiber throughout the day just so we can have a proper balance, right? So processed carbs, things that irritate your system, we have to work on that, right? And another thing is the low carb diet. I've seen a lot of posts on eating low carb, and low carb works at first, and it's fine because your water weight will drop. And what I mean by water weight, I mean the water that's inside of your fat. If you understand fat, right? 75% of hydrogen water is inside of your fat cells. So when we talk about losing water weight, we're talking about those are the first things, not necessarily you losing fat. Your fat cells will shrink, right? So insulin levels will drop and your appetite will drop. Then your body will start to adapt, and it's called adaptive thermogenesis. If you do it more than 2 weeks or 3 weeks, we have to turn our bodies off consistently. So, Marion, that's one also question that can be answered as well. How you start back off is fasting, but making sure that you're switching up your calories and confusing your body so that your body does not adapt to the actual food that you're eating. Save your comments. I know you got them. Save your questions. I got you guys. So, one of the things also is understanding that your workouts have to also match your nutrition. A lot of us are not eating or recovering properly with the right type of protein going back into your system. You have about 30 minutes to 1 hour to put the actual protein back into your system. And if it's not in your system, we have a problem, right? Because carbs, protein, and fats, those things help with recovery in its way. Protein has to utilize certain carbs and fats in order to bind because there's some incomplete proteins at the end of the day. So we have to work on that. So we don't want adaptation. We want to use fuel, real fuel on purpose. Carbs is the fuel, what's inside of the gas tank, and we have to put that fuel back in our body once we're done with our workouts. Fuel should match your demand. More fuel, less demand, less fuel. If you're exercising and you're not putting fuel back in your body, then your body is going to crash because it's going to be working and running out of gas. It's funny that we don't have a gas in our cars. We have those gas meters. We literally know when our car is running out of gas or not. But not when it comes to ourselves because, our bodies don't show that. It will crash and burn at the end of the day, and it will be, to your detriment. So we have to work on that part right there. Okay. So let me look at some questions. Does anybody have any questions, by the way? Want to answer any questions, any concerns? By the way. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Anybody have any questions? Any questions or any concerns? Before I hit that both segment. No questions. Marion, you just want to have your answers of what to actually do, right? Okay. So let me ask you and down to this. We're eating proteins, we're eating chicken, we're eating fish. We're going back to that on day 16 right away, or no? Up or down? What do we
Should we? That's the question.
Huh?
That's the question. Should we?
So I don't see anything wrong with it. Some say after 3 days of the fast. Some people say right afterwards. This is why for salads, I mean raw fruits, you're talking about 4 days. It all depends on what your workout is going to look like when you go back. So if you're going to work hard on day 16, and I mean heavy lifting, then put that protein back into your body and do it safe. So a lot of us are doing a lot of workouts and exercises, but I want you to start focusing on heavy strength training and lifting. Why is that important? Because it helps you build up lean muscle, and lean muscle is your savings account. So that is the answer to your question. Eggs, chicken, fish, salmon, those things, right away, but get a good workout in and center your proteins around your exercise. And after you finish, remember you have 72 hours to recover. You probably will feel sore because all you're doing right now is walking, or what you will be doing is walking for a while. So, legs, start working out those places because fat is going to be stripping from your body, and you have to start utilizing those workout exercises, and you need to start building up muscle, right? We need to be doing legs on Monday, and like legs. It's good to run and do all the extra stuff and the hit training. That's totally fine, right? But more strength training exercises will put more definition on your actual body. Get that protein shake. We got the protein shake. Have a protein shake right in your console of your car. As soon as you're done with the session, drink it immediately. Everybody should be drinking that particular protein, chocolate or vanilla we have, to make sure that you're good. Avoid high amounts of sugar. Avoid ultra processed foods. Stick to whole grains as much as possible, which means if you have chicken, do away with the rice, but zucchini, asparagus, broccoli. Don't put the rice in there. You don't need the rice. Because rice is actually the processed foods, and this is what your body used to. Oh, she's back. We're back. Let's store this energy. We're going to use this right here. No. After you finish working out, exercising, and you have a salmon and you have asparagus. Does that sound good, guys? Is that your speed? Broccoli or something like that? What do you have with your salmon normally, Danja? Even quinoa.
Yes, usually quinoa and like a vegetable, like broccoli.
So you would have salmon, quinoa, and
Broccoli, asparagus.
Quinoa is a seed. It's the reproductive organ of a plant. Nothing wrong with quinoa. I said
Okay.
rice. I said rice.
Like brown rice?
Yeah.
Is brown rice?
Same thing. Brown.
Okay.
It's black. It's white. It don't matter.
I'm
It's still
done.
gonna.
I'm going
It's
you.
still
I'm
gonna.
done.
It's still gonna get you.
I'm done.
That rice is gonna get you. So
Wait, so the wild rice too is bad?
no, nobody said. See, you trying to add stuff. Who said wild rice?
All the rice?
You said brown. She said brown or white rice. Nobody said nothing about wild rice. Wild rice is on a whole nother level.
Wild rice is good.
Yes. Do you even know how to cook wild? Who knows how to cook wild rice?
I mean, I don't. I be getting the little bowls from Walmart. They come with the quinoa and the wild rice together. You just pop it in the microwave for like 3 minutes.
I want to see somebody cook wild rice. And I want to taste a little bit because I tried to cook it one time and it was ugh. I was like, oh my God, what am I eating? It tasted like a tree. I was literally eating a branch, like the bark, like the bottom bark of a tree. That's where it was. It came in, it looked good. I tried to season it up, call myself fancy. Maybe I didn't cook it for enough. I couldn't really cook quinoa, but I mastered the quinoa inside of what was it? In rice cookers. It's very, very simple. I add 6 cups of water, 3 cups of quinoa. Season it up. Boom. And I let it go. Open it up, and I got quinoa all day. No problem. I cannot cook it in a pot. Do you cook it in a pot? Yeah.
No.
Oh, you put it in a rice cooker too?
Absolutely.
Oh. Oh, y'all got the cheat code. How you learn how to do that? Where you learn that from?
My mama.
Okay. Yeah, we had to get hooked to that one because man, listen. And who got time to be cooking like that anyway? Like cooking like on a stove. So yeah, when it comes to what we're going to be doing after the 15-day reset, yes, we have to prioritize protein so that we can lock in fat loss. Protein will protect that lean mass and control that hunger. Really, really important, right? The protein, chicken, beef, fish preserves your metabolism and it will reduce binge urging. So when we're weight training, heavy lifting, it will allow you to also not regain water that goes back into your fat cells. So you won't get a lot of water retention, but you'll start getting heavy muscle mass, and we'll be able to scan your body and we'll be able to see how much fat you have, how much muscle you have. This way we can, go into figure out which way we're going into. The next thing is the protein, and what you need to do when it comes to that is control that insulin levels. Again, like I said, 5 p.m. That should be the last time we're eating food, unless if you're coming to the 6:30 p.m. class and you got no other choice, and your last meal will be 7:30. You know what I'm saying? But don't go past 8 p.m. I'm telling you that. Don't go past that time. Okay? Protein, vegetables, veggies, fats, all those things, keep those in. But remember, just how we have the juices, don't stop with the juices. Ladies, a lot of times you think that just because you're juicing that you don't need to juice anymore after you finish fasting. No, continue with the juicing, continue with the fruits, and just add the protein as you see fit. Right? So put that fruit in there and you're good to go. And most importantly, on the days if you're not exercising, make sure you are walking. So if you are exercising 4 days a week, make sure you are walking 30 to 45 minutes. That's it. A daily walk If you exercise in the evening time, get up early in the morning time and do your walking. Walking will help you continuously burn fat and speed up your metabolism. Really, really important on that. Does anybody have any questions on that? That's important right there. The next option is the 16-8 or 18-6 eating window, right? 16 hours of fasting or 18 hours of fasting. You got to switch around. You got to see what works for you. And even when you feel like that's working for you, you got to switch things up. Things will naturally switch up anyway. We got meetings, we got functions, we got all kind of stuff. You got Donja's birthday around the corner on Friday, and period, right? You don't know if you're fasting, what are you going to do, right? If your eating time was after 5 p.m., what are you going to do literally? You're going to be socially eating and drinking and, right? Hopefully not drinking. Okay? We got goals right now for the summertime. And understand that it is the great sacrifice. It's the great sacrifice right now. We are in a winter where we are in fat burning zones like you wouldn't believe. Normally that happens also in the summertime, and it will happen in the summertime. But now in the wintertime, this is what we're experiencing. Go outside. I know it's cold, but that cold air will help you burn fat. And that's it. That's it, guys. So I want to thank you for joining. We will definitely continue this on the beat. I will see you guys soon. Oh, any questions? Go ahead.
Mark, I have a question for Monday. I know it's a holiday, but some of us, me and the girls, we have to work. It will be a regular day for our workout.
Okay, so what are you saying?
So are you gonna have just one section for the day, or you have the regular day sections?
So we canceled all the classes in the morning time. Are you asking for classes in the evening time? You want one class in the evening?
Yeah, I mean.
So get with Coach Elisa, and we can figure out one class for the evening time, either 5:30 or 6:30. If we can get more than 5 people in, we'll put it right back on the schedule. No problemo.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, I don't want to get more days off.
Oh yeah,
It was days off on winter.
Absolutely.
On Christmas time.
I can also do really early in the morning time too, if y'all want to just keep the 5:30 a.m. also.
We're gonna figure it out because the girls that go with me in the afternoon, they can make the morning. But
oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
So what time do you normally do in the evening time? Is it the 5:30 or the 6:30?
Normally 6:30.
Got it. Elisa, do we want the 6:30 back on? Why is she smiling like that? Why are you smiling like that? Look,
Yeah, can we do 6?
6 p.m.? Does that work for everybody?
Arelis?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Okay, 6 p.m.
Oh, it's because it's in between the 5:30 and the 6:30.
Okay, 6 p.m.
Because essentially I would normally have 2 classes. This way I would just have the one.
Okay. We will put the 6:30 p.m. class back on.
Woo-hoo. Thank you.
All right, that'll be on the 19th. Anybody in Seoul would like to also add that? I will get with who works around 6. I'll get with Dante and Will to see what they would like to do. Dewana, what does your schedule look like next week, Dewana?
I have no idea.
Okay. Keep me posted. Text me. Let me know what's going on. Keep me in a loop, okay?
I will.
All right. Okay. So, all right, I'm gonna put this back on 6 p.m. instead. I'm gonna schedule that class. We're gonna do a violin boot camp. All right, yep, that's gone. You guys will get the notifications in like 2 seconds. All right. Any questions? Any more questions? Nope. All right. Well, Arelis, it was just added back on. Hold on, it's still going. Still going. All right. Yep. It was added back on. Bada bing on there. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Feel free to be the first person that schedules for the class. This way, you know, it's a chain reaction. It's a chain reaction. Okay. And if anybody has any other requests for anything else, you guys let me know. Open book. We can figure things out. And we'll take it from there. All right. So